I do not have any good luck charms, so to speak. I think you're probably referencing yesterday that I was at MGM National Harbor because I am the poker ambassador to said establishment.
Mm-hmm.
Went and played some cash game yesterday, and as luck would have it,
Right.
I was sitting at lucky table number 32, and at 11:15 they did a drawing.
At 11:15. He's there for 20 minutes.
I got there at 10:45. By the way, I got felted on my very first hand that I played. $400.
Okay, don't script the issue.
Hoovered away from me.
What happened
because
within 30 minutes?
I overplayed trips, but that's fine. That's beside the point. At 11:15, they spin the wheel, Valdez, and it just so happened to fall on lucky table number 32.
And then this happened again?
Yes, because they do an hourly drawing.
So we did the math on this.
He hit 2 lucky tables?
He's hit the lucky table.
Back to back.
He's hit the lucky table.
32 hit twice?
Twice.
It's unbelievable.
At 11:15.
Back to
He's
back,
hit the lucky table. I would say
What does everybody
7
get?
or 8 times.
200.
200
Each time?
Yeah, 400 right
I
there.
think I
Ricky?
might start going with
That's from being a
Cakes.
lucky bastard.
Whenever he goes, I might just go with him because we did the math.
Yeah.
Now, the guys back there, they believe this is rigged, and it is.
Listen to the math.
Clearly
this
not
the math.
rigged.
So we did the math. I asked him how many tables were there. There were 15.
Yep.
And I said, well, about the second time, he said about 17,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even a little bit more.
Maybe
I worked
18.
with 17.
Roughly.
To hit the lucky table both times,
Yes.
the odds are less than a half of 1%.
Wow.
Less than a half
JP,
of 1%.
sometimes it's good to be lucky. Your boy was lucky yesterday.
And we've speculated the reason this happens
Yes.
is they get the ADs because Cakes tweets something out. Now, it's funny. I didn't pay attention to it. I saw a tweet and he wrote no shenanigans, and I assumed that he had lost the lucky table.
Right.
Like, hey, no shenanigans. I lost the lucky table. But what he was saying was no shenanigans. I won, but it's
Correct.
legit. And then he wins again,
Right.
and they get tweets
Now,
every time.
that's
Now,
crazy.
to defend myself.
Don't you think it would be a decent plan to just go?
How
and
many,
I
how
would
many
just
lucky
fold.
tables have you hit?
I could just
total?
fold every hand.
You've hit 5, maybe?
Oh, more than that.
I mean, since I've been the poker ambassador,
Since
Way-
you
way more than
partnered up.
that's like a year. That's roughly a year and a half.
More than
I don't
10?
know. No, not more than 10.
All right,
Probably,
between 5 and 10.
Yeah, I'd probably say between 5 and 10 is a good number.
I would.
But
I would take the high
think
side
about
of
it.
that.
Think about it. That's a good number of sessions over a year and a half
Okay,
span.
come up
many
with
times.
that
Now,
many
let me, now to
lucky
defend
tables.
me,
It's honestly the best scam going
to
on.
defend me and the good name of the MGM National Harbor Poker Room, let me just describe how I approached yesterday. First of all, we talked about me playing with Woody, who was an in-studio guest
Right.
of us yesterday, who works at MGM National Harbor.
Correct.
Brief mention that I would be there. When I arrived, I just went right up to the check-in table. I said, I'd like a 1-3 seat, please. There was no fanfare. There was no...
You don't need
there
the
was- there was-
fanfare.
there was-
They have cameras everywhere. They spot people.
I just said, I'd
They
like to
know
see.
where you're sitting.
They didn't know who I was. This woman didn't know who I was. She had no idea.
But do they spin the wheel in front of everybody?
Yeah, it's on a TV screen hanging over all the tables.
Yeah, but that can be easily rigged.
It's random.
Well, if it's not,
It's a fake wheel.
if it's not,
It's not like a real Wheel of Fortune
it's
wheel.
It's a random number generator that they run at the table.
Before it spins, the probably person types in table 32.
Yeah, exactly.
Spin the wheel, Valdez. It's a random wheel
all right, but let's just say
spin.
this. All right, so he hit the back-to-back. That's
Yes.
400. He got his bullet.
Got my bullet.
That's,
which-
so that's 700. But he did lose 575
Yeah.
at the tables.
right.
You still net up.
No, but the point is, if I'm at the poker room and I know what's happening,
But it
with
would have been a
Cakes,
bad day if he didn't get
I'm going to
hooked.
go to Cakes' table every time.
By the way, you don't
if you
think
can somehow arrange that, I'd be like, if you sign up, be like, can I sit down wherever?
Let me just point out that I did hit the lucky table at 11:15 and 12:15. At 1:15, I believe it was lucky table number 1.
Well, they couldn't give you 3 in a row.
I know, then that's just
And
too
then-
obvious.
And then at 2:15, another table that was not table number 32 hit. So,
Well, the next time it should hit for
everything
you.
forward.
yeah,
The next
you know
time
what he's
it should
doing is
hit
he's
for
fishing
you.
for 4 in a row now.
In theory,
I'm actually, you know what? I'm happy with 1 in a row.
The next
if you
time it
get
should hit
1 in
for
a row,
you.
it's good.
it should be like 20 more times. Because basically every time, well, I guess it was 1 in 15. It would take 15 times for you to hit it. And you
On
hit back to
average.
back. Right.
Yeah.
On average. When we put it together, it's less
But
than
is
1% chance.
Is it not suspicious though that Cakes plays his first hand, loses $400,
Right.
Boom.
Then all of a sudden it's made up to him like that.
First of all, okay, let's back up
The
here.
pit
There's
bull
no
sees
way
the
Pit
spokesman
boss,
losing
the
400,
floor-
so they got to ship him 400.
They're gonna call the floor because I overplayed trips against a guy that turned a full house on me.
but the eye in the sky saw,
Okay,
and that goes down
now
to the big
you're-
bosses. And
now
they said we
you're-
can't have our big silly getting felted.
It's a big
Now you're
conspiracy
grasping.
theorist.
Look,
now
I,
you're really
I
reaching.
tend not to believe conspiracy theories, and I believe it's on the up and up. You're just butt lucky. You're on a
Yesterday I
lucky
was
run
lucky.
right now.
Yesterday was lucky.
Can I just want to
It's a good
hear,
day.
can I please hear how he got felted when he overplayed Trip?
Yes, I'll tell you exactly how it happened.
I'd actually like
was
to
in
hear
By
the
the way, this is the very first hand he played.
very
Yeah.
first hand I played.
Yeah.
It was with a guy who sat down right next to me because they had opened a brand new table, lucky
Right.
table number 32.
Right.
And I think I was in the blind. I had Jack 9 offsuit, just a dog-s hand. So I played, nobody raised. We get heads up. Flop comes down 9-9 deuce.
Right.
Like, well, I like that flop.
Right.
It connects with my hand pretty well.
Right.
He checks. I bet. Turn is a 10.
Yeah.
He checks. I bet.
What are you
I probably
betting?
bet a pot-sized bet.
All right.
I'm like, I'm just going to take it down
So
now.
he's just
yeah.
calling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He raises
Uh-oh.
a substantial
What
raise.
was? I'm sorry. What was the turn?
Turn was a 10.
10. Okay.
All
10
right.
ball.
Right.
So he raises. I'm like, well, if he's got a big pocket pair, I've got him crushed. The only thing that beats me is if he has pocket tens, and he didn't lip it with pocket tens. You raise with pocket tens because it's a vulnerable hand.
Right. So he had pockets.
And then I'm
people
like, well, you have like something weird like jacks that you didn't raise. I'm all in. And he has.
All right.
The one of two cards that beats my hand in the deck shows up.
Right.
Your boy
Felt it.
all the chips. Push right
Right.
over to
First
him.
hand.
Right next to me.
And then
I'm
they
just-
spin
I'm
the
just-
So then you
wheel.
had to
I'm just
reload.
looking
Then
at
they
it.
spin the wheel and
I'm
replenish cakes.
I'm looking at his stack, and I'm just looking at him and thinking he has all of my chips.
Right.
He has all the chips. One hand.
Well, you got that bullet.
Then at
You got the hookup.
11:15, bam! Lucky table number 32. And it just so happens an hour later.
Listener tweeted me and made a great point.
Yes.
If Cakes is using his player's card,
Which I
and
do.
they'll know exactly what tables he's at.
Of course
Okay,
they know.
they
They
can-
definitely
They
know
know
what table
either
he's
way.
at.
They don't even have to use the card.
We had a
They
guy
know.
from MGM here said everybody knows when Cakes walks in.
He's the biggest celeb in the room.
Yes.